Africa is often remembered as the land of predators, but the truth here is far more complex. Small creatures sometimes hold the most remarkable survival secrets, and those called kings don't always win. In this wild world, the truth is often far from what we imagine. Wild Africa, strange animal behaviors. The African savannah under afternoon sun. A small creature digs near the base of an acacia tree, black and white contrasting back, moving slowly and seemingly harmless. This is the honey badger, one of the most misunderstood animals on the planet. The internet calls them the most fearless creatures in the world, immune to venom. But the truth is far more complex. Honey badgers aren't immortal. They're not completely immune to venom. They simply resist it better than most animals. This is the story of a creature living amid constant danger, about how they survive not through supernatural powers, but through intelligent biological adaptations. Popular belief suggests honey badgers can eat venomous snakes with absolutely no harm, and many viral videos make them look invincible. The truth is, honey badgers can be seriously affected by snake venom because they only have partial resistance, not complete immunity, as many people mistakenly believe. Research shows that when bitten by venomous snakes, honey badgers typically lose consciousness for 2 to 5 hours, not able to stand up and continue fighting immediately, as legend suggests. What's remarkable is their recovery ability, because while most animals of similar size might die within minutes, honey badgers can still survive and recover. The secret lies in special protein structures in their blood, with molecules that can bind to venom, slowing its spread and reducing critical damage. However, this mechanism isn't perfect, because if the venom dose is too large or if bitten multiple times, honey badgers can still die. And this has been documented. So why do honey badgers still dare to attack venomous snakes? The answer isn't because they're immune, but because they have multiple layers of defense beyond venom resistance. The first line of defense is thick skin. A honey badger's skin is about 6 millimeters thick, 3 times thicker than most mammals of similar size. Snake fangs struggle to penetrate. Not only thick, this skin is also extremely loose. When a snake bites, the honey badger can twist within its own skin to counterattack, like turning inside a loose coat. The second line of defense is thick, coarse fur. It creates an additional barrier between fangs and skin. Often snakes bite only fur without reaching skin. The third line of defense is attack tactics. Honey badgers don't confront head-on. They attack the snake's head, the most dangerous area, to control it from the start. The honey badger's long, sharp claws are strong enough to rip a snake's head from its body. Once the head is controlled, the rest of the snake can't counterattack effectively. But even with all these defenses, honey badgers don't always win. If bitten in a critical spot, they still pay the price. Researchers in the Kalahari documented a case where a honey badger lay unconscious for nearly 4 hours after being bitten by a cobra. During that time, they're completely vulnerable. Lions, leopards, or hyenas could easily kill a honey badger in this state. Venom resistance is useless against other threats when the body is immobilized. But if lucky enough to survive the dangerous period, the honey badger will wake up. Often they'll continue eating the very snake that bit them, as if nothing happened. This behavior isn't because honey badgers are stubborn or stupid. It's a survival strategy. Snakes are a valuable protein source in an environment where food is scarce. Honey badgers don't just face venomous snakes. They also raid honeybee hives, enduring hundreds of stings. But once again, they're not immune to bee venom. Thick skin and dense fur help reduce the number of stings reaching the skin. But many stings still succeed. Honey badgers swell, suffer pain, but don't give up. The reason they accept this risk is that beehives contain honey and bee larvae, extremely high sources of energy and protein in the arid savannah. This is a precious meal. So are honey badgers truly fearless? Not exactly. They calculate risk like any other animal, but their threshold for acceptable risk is higher because they have multiple defensive layers. Research shows honey badgers still avoid snakes that are too large or situations too dangerous. They're not recklessly foolish. They only take risk when chances of success are high. Average lifespan of honey badgers in the wild is only about 7 to 8 years, much lower than other carnivores of similar size. Risk has its price. In early 2026, honey badgers are still common in many African regions, but habitat loss and conflicts with livestock farmers are increasing. Farmers often kill honey badgers because they dig burrows near livestock pens and steal chickens. But honey badgers play crucial roles in controlling venomous snakes and insects. Honey badgers teach us that strength doesn't come from being immune to danger. It comes from having enough tools to face danger and recover afterward. They're not immortal superheroes. They're scarred warriors, surviving through a combination of biological adaptation, intelligent tactics, and a bit of luck. In the natural world, nothing is completely immune. There are only creatures that know how to live with danger, accept risks, and continue to exist. Dawn on the Serengeti grasslands. A pack of wild dogs gathers after a night's rest, emitting their signature calls, touching muzzles, ready to step into a new day. Not far away, a pride of lions has just caught a zebra and is feeding. The scent of blood spreads through the early morning air. According to popular thinking, this is when conflict erupts, wild dogs charging in to steal the kill, and lions counterattacking in a fierce, unforgiving battle. But reality is completely different. The wild dog pack turns and leaves, moving in the opposite direction, avoiding the lion area, not confronting, just evading. This is true wisdom in nature. It doesn't lie in strength or courage, but in the ability to make the right decisions for long-term survival. Many believe lions dominate wild dogs because they're bigger, stronger, and more ferocious, forcing wild dogs to yield, flee, and live in fear. But GPS research tracking both species over 10 years reveals a different picture. Wild dogs don't live in fear. They live by an extremely intelligent strategy. The first strategy is temporal separation. Lions hunt mainly at dusk and night. Wild dogs hunt in early morning and late afternoon, when lions are resting. This reduces encounter probability by 70%. No encounters means no conflict. No conflict means no injuries or lost kills. The second strategy is spatial separation. Wild dogs can sense lions from 300 to 500 meters away through scent and sound. When detecting lion signs, wild dogs immediately change direction. They don't need to see lions. Just knowing where they are is enough to avoid them. Research shows wild dogs can hunt just 1 kilometer from lions without ever meeting. They maintain a mental map of all threat locations. The third strategy is eating speed. Wild dogs eat extremely fast. The entire pack tears flesh simultaneously, capable of consuming an antelope in 15 minutes. While lions typically take hours to eat large prey, creating opportunities for hyenas or other rivals to approach, but 15 minutes is too fast to be discovered. Even if lions appear while they're eating, wild dogs don't fight to defend their kill. They immediately flee. Life is more important than a meal. This is the optimal survival choice, because losing 25% of food is still better than losing a pack member to injury or death. One wild dog death means reduced hunting capability for the entire pack. Success rates drop from 80 to 60% if the pack loses 2 members. The fourth strategy is pack communication. Wild dogs have a complex warning system. When one individual detects lions, it emits a special call. The entire pack immediately changes direction without needing to see the threat. Trust and rapid response are key to avoiding danger before it's too late. However, when avoidance is impossible and they're surrounded by lions, wild dogs switch to scatter tactics, running in multiple directions to confuse opponents and break the encirclement. Lions can only chase one individual, while the others have a chance to escape. This tactic raises the pack's survival rate to about 80%. Even more remarkable, wild dogs learn from experience. They can remember areas where they've encountered lions and proactively avoid them for weeks afterward. They even pass this knowledge to the next generation. Pups learn safe routes, safe times, and how to detect threats early. This is collective intelligence accumulated over generations, not just relying on innate instinct, but resembling a survival culture that's learned and transmitted. The statistics tell the whole story. Wild dogs lose about 25% of kills to theft, but their death rate from lion conflicts is under 5%. Meanwhile, lion cubs have mortality rates up to 40% due to conflicts with other male lions. Avoiding conflict truly is a smarter strategy than fighting. So, who's smarter? The one 10 times stronger but expending enormous energy in conflicts? Or the smaller one surviving better by avoiding unnecessary confrontations? In 2026, wild dogs are the most endangered species among Africa's large carnivores, but not because they lose in conflicts with lions. The greatest threat is humans, habitat loss, disease from domestic dogs, and roads fragmenting territory prevent them from avoiding lions as before. When territory shrinks, avoidance strategies become impractical. Wild dogs are forced to encounter lions more frequently. Conflicts increase, and mortality rates rise accordingly. Wild dogs demonstrate that intelligence doesn't lie in winning every confrontation, but in recognizing which battles aren't worth joining, because long-term survival matters more than temporary victory. In the natural world, the longest survivor isn't the strongest or bravest. It's the wisest at avoiding unnecessary risks. Midday on the Serengeti grasslands. Temperature reaches nearly 40 degrees Celsius. Blazing sunlight scorches everything without shade cover. Under sparse acacia canopies, a pride of lions lies still. Not moving, not hunting, just lying there, breathing steadily and sleeping with eyes closed. This scene repeats throughout the day. Morning, noon, afternoon. Lions spend nearly all their time resting and sleeping. This isn't laziness. This is a survival strategy refined through millions of years of evolution of Africa's largest carnivore. Research shows lions rest 18 to 20 hours each day. This means they're only actively engaged 4 to 6 remaining hours. This number is higher than most other carnivores, higher than leopards, higher than hyenas, even higher than brown bears during non-hibernation season. The first reason lies in body mass. Adult males can weigh over 200 kilograms. Maintaining this enormous muscle mass requires tremendous energy. Every minute of movement under hot sun consumes precious calories. In an environment of scarce prey, energy must be strictly conserved. Savannah daytime temperatures can reach 40 degrees Celsius. With thick fur and large body mass, lions easily overheat if active at this time. Males' thick manes make this worse. It retains heat like a heavy coat. Too much movement can cause heat stroke and endanger life. The second reason relates to hunting strategy, because lions don't pursue long distances like wild dogs, but ambush and attack with explosive speed at short range. This hunting form requires very large instant strength, so muscles must be adequately rested beforehand. Lack of rest means inability to generate explosive power. One hunting session can consume 3,000 to 5,000 kilocalories. equivalent to energy of a person running a marathon or more. But hunting success rate is only about 20 to 30%. This means 7 to 8 times of effort, lions get nothing but exhaustion. If hunting daily without success, lions will quickly exhaust and no longer have strength to hunt next time. This is the death spiral. Therefore, instead of hunting continuously, lions wait. They lie still, observe, and wait for the most perfect moment. Patience is the intelligent predator's weapon. That moment is usually at dusk or dawn. Cooler temperature, vision still good enough, and prey are moving, seeking food or water. During these hours, lions use all energy accumulated throughout the day. Fully rested muscles are now ready to explode with maximum strength. A wildebeest can provide tens of thousands to over 100,000 kilocalories for the entire pride, depending on prey size and actual meat consumed. After a large meal, lions may not need to hunt for 3 to 4 days. Bodies switch to digestion mode, a process also consuming significant energy. This is lion's survival cycle. Rest to accumulate energy, hunt with full force, eat their fill, then continue resting. No waste, no excess. Meanwhile, herbivore species must eat all day to maintain bodies. They have no other choice because their food has low nutritional content. But lions eat meat, a concentrated energy source. One meal can provide energy for many days. This allows them to live at a completely different pace. Resting extensively also helps lions avoid unnecessary conflicts because every territorial defense battle or food jung duo consumes energy and risk injury. By lying still in tree shade, lions minimize chances of encountering wandering males or aggressive hyena packs. Hiding is the best way to stay safe. For lionesses, resting is even more important when having cubs. They need to conserve energy to produce milk and protect cubs from danger. GPS data shows lions can lie still in the same shaded area for 24 hours when not hungry, because all purposeless movement wastes energy. From 2026 onward, lions face new challenges. Climate change causes temperatures to rise and water sources deplete faster. This forces prey to move farther to find food, and lions must expend more energy to hunt. The energy balance cycle is being threatened. Conservation areas are working to maintain water sources and protect herbivore populations. When ecosystems balance, lions' natural cycle can continue. Lions teach us an important lesson. Strength doesn't always come from continuous action. Sometimes, resting and waiting is the smartest strategy. In a world where every calorie is precious, knowing when to act and when to conserve energy is the key to surviving in the savannah's harsh environment. The Serengeti grasslands at dawn. A pride of lions lies under the shade of trees after a failed night of hunting. Not far away, a pack of wild dogs is beginning their day. When looking at these two species, most people would bet on the lion. They are bigger, stronger, with claws and fangs far more formidable than the small wild dog. But if asked which species is Africa's best hunter, the answer will surprise many. Not the lion, not the leopard, but the wild dog. This is the story of the carnivore with the highest hunting success rate on the planet, about how a small creature surpasses giants through tactics and persistence. Data from over 20 years of research in the Serengeti and Okavango shows clear numbers. Lions' hunting success rate is only about 20 to 30%. Meanwhile, a pack of wild dogs with 6 to 10 individuals has a success rate of 70 to 85%, 3 times higher than lions. This means in 10 hunting attempts, wild dogs succeed 8 times, while lions may come back empty-handed 7 to 8 times. The difference is enormous. The first secret lies in hunting strategy. Lions are ambush predators, relying on explosive speed over short distances. They will give up after 100 meters. In contrast, wild dogs apply a completely different tactic, operating like marathon runners of the animal world, capable of continuous endurance running from 5 to 10 kilometers. Their speed isn't as high as cheetahs, but they can maintain 50 to 60 kilometers per hour for several continuous minutes. This is their true weapon. Prey may excel in short distances but cannot sustain it long term, and wild dogs only need to pursue continuously, giving the prey no chance to rest. GPS research shows prey's body temperature gradually increases. After 5 minutes of continuous running, they begin to overheat. After 10 minutes, they are completely exhausted. The second secret is pack coordination. Lions typically hunt in small groups of 2 to 3, but wild dogs hunt with the entire pack, 6 to 10 individuals at once. They can take turns leading. When the front individual tires, another takes over. The prey always faces a fresh pursuer. Simultaneously, other individuals run along different paths, cutting off the prey's escape routes. This intelligent encirclement tactic leaves the prey with no way out. Communication within the pack is also superior. Wild dogs emit special calls to coordinate. Each individual knows exactly what they need to do without seeing each other. The third secret is persistence. Lions typically give up after 1 or 2 failures because they expend too much energy. They need long rest periods to recover. But wild dogs can try multiple times in one morning. If the first attempt fails, they rest 15 minutes, then continue, never giving up easily. Their bodies are designed for endurance. Heart and lungs are larger in proportion to body size. An efficient circulatory system helps continuously supply oxygen to muscles. Long, slender legs help them expend less energy when running. Each stride is optimized for performance, not wasting a single calorie. The fourth secret is they hunt at the right time. Unlike lions that typically hunt at dusk and night, wild dogs hunt in the early morning and late afternoon. At these times, the temperature is cooler. They don't overheat during endurance running. Prey are also moving to find food, easier to detect and less vigilant. Additionally, wild dogs face fewer scavengers at these times, as lions and hyenas typically rest in the morning, creating conditions for them to take advantage. Eating speed is also an advantage. When prey is caught, the entire pack tears the meat extremely quickly. They can finish eating an antelope in 15 minutes before scavengers arrive. Lions typically take hours to eat a large prey, easily discovered and robbed by hyenas. Wild dogs give others no chance. But there's a fact few people know. Despite being better hunters, wild dogs are the most endangered species among Africa's large carnivores. Only about 6,600 individuals remain in the wild, fewer than lions, fewer than leopards. Perfect hunting skills aren't enough to protect them from humans. Habitat loss, diseases from domestic dogs, and conflicts with livestock herders are the three biggest threats. When territory is fragmented, packs cannot hunt effectively. Conservation organizations are working to create movement corridors and protect large territories. Wild dogs need extensive space to maintain packs and hunt prey. Wild dogs teach the core lesson that strength doesn't always correlate with size, but often comes from intelligent tactics and effective coordination. On the African grasslands, survival victory doesn't belong to the strongest, but to the species that adapts well, persists, and excels at teamwork. Through thousands of years of evolution, African wild dogs have proven this, and if protected, they will continue to maintain their role as the superior hunters of this ecosystem. An afternoon on the Botswana savannah, a honey badger is digging and foraging for food near a dry riverbed. Suddenly, two leopards emerge from nearby bushes. In viral videos online, this is when the honey badger would turn around to attack the leopards, fight bravely, and force them to retreat. But reality is completely different. The honey badger doesn't attack. Instead, it immediately runs toward the nearest rocky den at maximum speed. This isn't cowardice. This is intelligent survival. This is the story of the real honey badger. Not the invincible super warrior the internet portrays, but an escape artist, a survival specialist. Popular belief suggests honey badgers win every fight. Online videos show them chasing lions, attacking leopards, and defeating anyone who dares challenge them. But field research over 20 years in the Kalahari shows honey badgers avoid conflict whenever possible. They only fight when there's no other choice. When facing lions, honey badgers have three options: flee, hide in a burrow, or counterattack. The first two options account for 80% of cases. Why? Because honey badgers only weigh 10 kilograms. Lions weigh 200 kilograms. This isn't a fair fight. Victory is impossible. Even when honey badgers attack ferociously, roaring and biting, This isn't to win. This is to create an escape opportunity, making the opponent hesitate for a few seconds, enough to get away. The honey badger's main tactic is to make itself hard to eat, not to defeat the enemy. Thick skin, fierce growling, biting the opponent's face to cause pain. The goal isn't to make the lion flee. The goal is to make the lion think killing the honey badger costs more effort than the value gained. This is cost-benefit calculation. And this strategy often works, not because the honey badger is stronger, but because the lion or leopard doesn't want to get injured over such small prey. But it's not always lucky. GPS research tracking honey badgers over 5 years shows 60% of individuals have scars from attacks. Some have broken legs, torn ears, or are blind in one eye, showing these aren't signs of victory, but marks of surviving confrontations. Three tracked individuals died within 5 years. One killed by a lion, one killed by a leopard, one attacked by a pack of hyenas. Not invincible. Viral videos online only show the times honey badgers successfully escape. No one films the times they fail, lying dead in the bushes. Even with venomous snakes, honey badgers don't always win. Research in Okavango recorded honey badgers bitten by cobras, lying unconscious and being eaten alive by vultures. The unconscious period from 2 to 5 hours is an extremely dangerous phase, as they cannot defend or flee, allowing any predator to finish them off. So why do honey badgers have a reputation for fearlessness? Because we remember the times they survive, not the times they die. This is perception bias. The truth is, honey badgers survive by knowing when to fight and when to run. They fight fiercely when cornered, but prioritize escape over victory. Climbing ability is an important escape weapon. When chased, honey badgers can climb trees quickly. Lions can't climb. Neither can hyenas. Burrowing ability also saves their lives many times. Honey badgers can dig 1 meter deep in 15 minutes. They crawl in and block the entrance with dirt, waiting for the opponent to leave. Surviving to fight another day is always more beneficial than dying a hero. And nature only selects for survival ability, not rewarding courage. The average lifespan of 7 to 8 years for honey badgers is much lower than many other carnivores, clearly reflecting that their risky lifestyle always comes with consequences. Compared to leopards living 12 years, lions 14 years, honey badgers die much earlier, mainly due to accumulated wounds from confrontations and infections. Mortality research shows 30% of honey badgers die from larger carnivores, 20% die from venom, 50% die from infection and starvation. Honey badgers are fearless, but fearlessness doesn't equal invincibility, as they accept danger largely because of food-scarce environments. To this day, honey badgers still exist in many areas of Africa, but conflicts with humans are increasing as they steal chickens and dig burrows near homes. Many people kill honey badgers thinking they're dangerous. But the truth is, honey badgers avoid humans when possible. They only attack when cornered. Honey badgers teach the important lesson that survival isn't about winning every battle, but knowing when to fight and when to retreat. Viral videos may make them look like superheroes, but in the real world, honey badgers are wise survivors, not undefeated warriors. And perhaps that's what's most admirable, not superior strength, but the ability to keep living in a world full of creatures 20 times stronger. The Serengeti savannah is home to over 3 million herbivores, but it's also territory of the planet's most dangerous predators. Each day, life here is a ceaseless battle of wits. Herbivores have no fangs or claws, no venom. They only have survival instinct. In this ecosystem, each herbivore species has developed different skills, but all aim toward one single purpose: to survive. This is the story of adaptation, about how seemingly vulnerable species have existed and continue to exist through millions of years of evolution. Wildebeest can reach speeds up to 70 kilometers per hour, but for them, speed is not the only weapon for survival. Zebras live in large herds. In Serengeti alone, numbers reach 200,000 individuals. This very scale is their survival strategy. Giraffes stand nearly 6 meters tall. Their vision encompasses the entire savannah. Height itself is absolute security advantage. African buffalo with massive horns can inflict fatal injuries, making them one of the least attacked herbivore species. Each species possesses distinct advantages, but all exist in one unchanging reality. Danger is always present and never disappears. Regarding senses, antelope ears can rotate 360 degrees. They detect sounds from 1 kilometer distance. This is a natural early warning system. Zebra eyes are positioned on sides of the head, vision nearly 360 degrees. They can see behind without turning their heads. Buffalo's sense of smell is 5 times more acute than humans. They can smell lions from 300 meters, time enough to prepare defense. Giraffes combine all 3 senses, but the greatest advantage is height. From 6 meters high, they see what's coming first. When one detects danger, the entire herd reacts. Information spreads in just seconds. Collective warning system. Regarding speed and endurance, wildebeest have maximum speed of 70 kilometers per hour, and they maintain this speed continuously for 5 kilometers. Cheetahs are faster, 110 kilometers per hour, but can only run 300 meters before exhaustion. Wildebeest know this. The tactic is to prolong the chase. Run zigzag. Change direction suddenly. Deplete the predator's energy. Zebras aren't as fast as antelope. Maximum speed 65 kilometers per hour. But they have astonishing endurance. In annual migration, zebras run over 3,000 kilometers. Their bodies evolved for endurance, not explosive speed. Regarding herd tactics, this is the most fundamental principle. A solitary zebra has survival rate below 20%. When lions attack, herds quickly form defensive formation. Young in the center, adult individuals surrounding outside. Wildebeest apply different tactics. When pursued, they run in multiple directions, disrupting predator coordination and creating escape opportunities. Giraffes usually stay in small groups, 3 to 5 individuals. They take turns on guard. When one eats, others observe. Buffalo, when threatened, they point horns outward, young in the middle. Even lions hesitate to attack this formation. With zebras, stripe patterns aren't just for beauty. When the entire herd moves simultaneously, stripes overlap, creating visual interference phenomenon. This makes predators difficult to focus on a specific individual, reducing hunt success rate by about 30%. Antelope possess brown-yellow coats, blending perfectly with dry grass, color in dry season. When standing still, they're nearly invisible before predator eyes. Giraffes utilize height for camouflage. When standing among tall trees, only the head protrudes, making them from afar look like motionless branches. The African savannah is the harshest survival test, but herbivores have passed through millions of years of evolution. They have no fangs, claws, or venom, but possess acute senses, superior speed, and collective intelligence. The relationship between predator and prey is not a story of winning or losing, but of balance, where both coexist to maintain the ecosystem. By 2026, protecting this savanna becomes more important than ever, because this is not just home to countless species, but also the common heritage of the entire planet. In the dense forests of Africa, morning sunlight filters through the canopy, where every creature seeks to survive in its own way. This is home to antelope, monkeys, wild pigs, and countless bird species. But here too, in the darkness of thick canopies, a hunter watches. Each leaf trembles slightly. This is no ordinary forest. This is territory of nature's most perfect predator. In dappled light, rosette spots appear clearly. This is the leopard, one of the planet's most mysterious and talented big cats. Leopards possess golden fur with distinctive rosette-shaped spots. Each individual has unique patterns, like human fingerprints. They can weigh up to 90 kilograms, but what's special is in size. What's special lies in body design. Tail nearly half as long as the body, functioning as a perfect balancing pole. Retractable claws help them move smoothly and absolutely silently. But the most prominent feature is extremely powerful hind leg muscles. They can jump up to 3 meters high in a single bound. Leopards are the only big cats that can live completely in trees. They eat, sleep, even give birth on branches dozens of meters high. While lions hunt on grasslands, tigers hide in bushes. Leopards have chosen a different strategy. They conquer three-dimensional space. Sharp yellow eyes scan every space. Hearing 5 times more acute than humans. Nose can smell blood from hundreds of meters away. Now the mission is clear. An antelope grazes not far away. It hasn't yet realized it has entered the sights of the perfect predator. Leopard moves like a ghost, each footstep placed precisely. Not a single leaf falls, not a single branch trembles. Distance narrows, 5 meters, 4 meters, body lowered, tail stretched straight to maintain balance. The moment has come. In an instant, leopard leaps from 6 meters high. Precise strike. Antelope can't react in time. Speed and strength perfectly combined. But the work isn't finished. On the ground, blood smell will attract enemies. Hyenas, lions, even wild dog packs can steal prey. The leopard's solution is unique. They drag prey up trees. A 40-kilogram antelope carried to 5 meters height using only jaw and neck muscles. Step by step, meter by meter. Weight double the body, but leopards still climb steadily. This is strength evolved over millions of years. Reaching safety, the meal begins. Leopards can eat up to 20 kilograms of meat at once. Leftover food will be stored in trees, away from thieves. But it's not always favorable. Sometimes prey isn't on the ground. They're right in trees, among thick canopies. Monkeys are the most difficult prey. They're agile, vigilant, and always live in groups. But leopards have an advantage no other big cat possesses. Absolute silence in trees. They move from branch to branch, blending into canopy shadows. Spotted patterns help them become completely invisible. In an instant, the attack occurs. In midair, among fragile branches, leopard strength and skill are fully displayed. Despite being apex hunters, leopards also face challenges. Their territory is shrinking. Forests are disappearing at alarming rates. Leopard numbers in the wild have decreased over 30% in the past 3 generations. From African deserts to Asian rainforest, the story is the same. But adaptability has helped leopards survive through millions of years. They can live in minus 30 degree or 45 degree heat. They can live near humans, in small forests where lions or tigers cannot. Leopards have proven themselves masters of survival. In 2026, conservation efforts are being accelerated. Movement corridors are established. Forests are more strictly protected. Each surviving leopard individual is proof of nature's vitality. They are bridges between earth and sky, between past and future. In twilight, leopards again blend into darkness. They don't need to roar like lions, don't need to display strength like tigers. They only need to exist. And that existence, silent but powerful, is a reminder that nature still has secrets worth discovering, worth respecting, and worth protecting. Leopards, mysterious, powerful, perfect, and now need protection more than ever. The Serengeti grasslands stretch endlessly, one of Africa's largest wild ecosystems, where natural law still absolutely governs all life. Millions of herbivores live here, from zebras, wildebeest, to antelope, creating a rich food chain with one irreplaceable apex. In the sparse shade of acacia trees, a male lion rests. The thick mane has turned dark, sign of a mature and experienced individual. Its position as pride leader doesn't come from bloodline, but is the result of countless confrontations, perseverance, and ability to survive in a harsh world. Male lions can weigh over 200 kilograms, but what makes them different from lionesses isn't just body size, but precisely the distinctive thick mane. The mane begins developing when male lions are about 2 years old, not only displaying gender, but also reflecting health, age, and testosterone levels. In confrontations between males, the mane acts like natural armor, protecting neck and shoulders from claws and fangs. However, the mane is also a physiological burden, making the body easily overheat during intense activity. Thus, male lions rarely participate in regular hunting. A typical lion pride consists of 3 to 4 adult females plus cubs, while the dominant male is usually 1 or 2 brothers. The dominant male's role is very clear: protect territory and pride from outside males. This is full-time and dangerous work. Each night, roars echo across the Serengeti grasslands, not to flaunt strength, but as clear warning that this territory has an owner. That roar can travel up to 8 kilometers, but simultaneously reveals position, attracting wandering males patiently seeking opportunities. When lions confront, instinct doesn't allow retreat because this isn't just territorial dispute, but battle for breeding rights and genetic lineage. Battle unfolds fiercely. Two masses of bodies charging at each other. 5-centimeter claws tearing flesh. Each strike can determine life or death. Combat can last from minutes to hours, but the outcome usually doesn't change. The loser must retreat or die. The winner gains absolute power. The new male taking it over the pride must make a decision, because cubs left by the old male are potential threats to his genetic future. These cubs will be killed. This is brutal behavior, but has clear biological logic. When cubs die, lionesses will be ready to mate again after 2 to 3 weeks. Lionesses may resist, but they're not strong enough to confront males. Only a few lucky cubs escape and hide in bushes. After this period, the new dominant male begins mating with females. The new cubs are its genetic legacy. However, the crown of power always comes at high cost. The dominant male must be constantly vigilant, because in nature, rest doesn't exist. On average, a male lion only holds the dominant position for 2 to 3 years. Very few individuals are strong and lucky enough to extend power to 5 years. Each battle leaves scars. Each passing year diminishes strength. Fangs wear down, muscles lose agility, reflexes slow. When no longer strong enough, the old male will be dethroned. This is inevitable law. Some choose to wander alone. Some die in the final battle. Dethroned males usually don't live long. No females to hunt. They must face the harsh grasslands alone. Some are lucky to find animal carcasses to eat, but usually they must compete with hyenas and vultures. Status has completely reversed. But not all stories are tragic. Some males form alliances with each other. When old, they can rely on each other, increasing survival chances. In the lion world, success isn't measured by lifespan, but by the number of surviving cubs carrying their genes. By 2026, wild lion numbers are only about 20,000 individuals, decreased nearly 90% compared to a century ago. Habitat loss, conflict with humans, and poaching are the greatest threats, forcing conservation areas to expand and connect. Modern research shows lions have complex social structure, can remember individuals, and display grief behavior when losing peers. Being a dominant male means a short but intense life, where each day is a challenge and each decision affects lineage. In that brief time, a male can leave an eternal mark, not through roars, but through cubs continuing the survival story on the endless grasslands. In nature, evolution has armed every species with its own tools for survival, from fangs and horns to venom and adaptive strategies. Among them, keratin claws appear across nearly every ecosystem, from aerial predators to giants that roam the land. Each claw has evolved to match a specific lifestyle, some to tear flesh, some to dig, others to grip prey with deadly precision. And when we ask which claws are the most dangerous, the answer does not lie with lions or tigers, but with species we least expect. In the rainforests of South America, the giant anteater moves slowly through the undergrowth, weighing around 40 kilograms, seemingly harmless in appearance. It has no teeth. Its diet consists mainly of ants and termites. At first glance, it appears to be one of the forest's most defenseless creatures. But look at its forefeet. 4 sickle-shaped claws, nearly 10 centimeters long, powerful enough to tear open termite mounds as hard as concrete. When threatened, the anteater rises onto its hind legs, spreading its forelimbs. In this stance, its claws become lethal weapons. These claws can rip through a leopard's flesh. There are documented cases of giant anteaters killing leopards during confrontations. On the other side of the world, deep in the rainforests of Queensland, Australia, an ancient bird moves silently across the damp forest floor, the cassowary, Casuarius casuarius. Standing up to 1.8 meters tall and weighing 60 kilograms, its most terrifying weapon is not its size, but its feet. The middle toe bears a dagger-like claw measuring up to 12 centimeters. When it kicks, all the force is focused onto this razor-sharp point. The impact is comparable to a professional boxer's punch, but concentrated into a far smaller area, enough to pierce flesh or cause severe internal injuries. For this reason, the cassowary is considered the most dangerous bird on Earth, fearless of humans and willing to attack when threatened. In the mountains and forests of North America, the grizzly bear roams in search of food, weighing up to 300 kilograms and possessing overwhelming strength. Grizzly claws range from 5 to 10 centimeters in length. Unlike feline claws, they cannot retract and remain in constant contact with the ground, providing superior grip for digging and movement. These claws are used to unearth roots and insects, but when necessary, they instantly become deadly weapons. A single swipe from a grizzly's paw can shatter the ribs of large animals. Combined with immense mass and muscle, it is a devastating blow. In the world of big cats, claws follow a very different design. Lions, tigers, and leopards possess fully retractable claws hidden within protective sheaths. This mechanism keeps the claws razor sharp by preventing wear during walking. When hunting, muscles and tendons extend the claws, turning the paws into perfect weapons. A tiger's claws can reach 10 centimeters in length. Combined with a bite force of over 1,000 psi, they form a lethal partnership. Claws to hold, jaws to kill. Yet even more remarkable is a smaller cat, the caracal. Weighing around 15 kilograms, it possesses extraordinarily agile and precise claws. The caracal can leap up to 3 meters from a standing position, snatching birds out of the air mid-flight. A rare and astonishing skill. Above the rainforest canopy, another predator soars. The harpy eagle, Harpia harpia, the largest eagle in the Americas, with a wingspan nearing 2 meters. Its true weapons lie in its legs, where talons measuring 10 to 13 centimeters rival those of a grizzly bear, the most powerful of any bird. The crushing grip of a harpy eagle can exceed 300 kilograms per square centimeter, enough to shatter the skulls of monkeys or sloths in seconds. Harpy eagles hunt within dense forest canopies, weaving through branches at speed, guided by exceptional vision and flawless aerial control. Each species has evolved claws suited precisely to its environment and way of life. There is no single, most dangerous claw, only the most effective design. Grizzlies use claws to dig, harpy eagles to crush, anteaters to break. By 2026, many of these species face increasing threats from habitat loss, poaching, and global climate change. Claws stand as living proof of evolutionary power. Millions of years spent refining every detail to create perfect tools for survival. Because behind every claw lies a story of adaptation, instinct, and the intricate beauty of nature, a lesson humanity is still learning. The African savannah spreads beneath the vast sky, land of giants, where strength is usually measured in tons. But strength in nature isn't only measured by size. There's another law, more subtle. It's the ratio between strength and body weight. When lowering vision to the arid grass carpets, where tiny creatures possess strength far beyond any ordinary comparison. This is the story about strength in nature. Not about the largest, but about creatures that found ways to maximize every gram of their body. On a fresh buffalo dung pile, a small creature is working. Dung beetle, Scarabaeus sacer, only 3 centimeters long and weighing 2 grams. The dung beetle is doing something seemingly impossible. They're shaping and rolling a dung ball weighing 200 grams, 100 times their body weight. But this isn't the limit yet. In scientific experiments, dung beetles have pulled objects weighing 1,141 times their body weight. To visualize, this equals a person weighing 70 kilograms lifting 80 tons, nearly equal to a modern tank. The secret lies in body structure. Dung beetles have hard exoskeletons made from chitin. Muscles inside attach directly to the shell, creating an extremely efficient lever system. Not far away, a long line moves on the ground. Leafcutter ants, adaptations, each individual weighing only a few milligrams, but carrying leaf pieces many times larger than their body. Leafcutter ants can carry objects 50 times their body weight, moving vertically and gripping firmly on all surfaces, even smooth ceilings. The ant's secret lies in special neck muscles. This muscle occupies nearly half the body mass and can withstand tremendous pressure without injury. The reason small creatures are disproportionately strong is due to physical laws. When size decreases, surface area decreases slower than volume and mass. This helps small muscles have a large contact area ratio relative to the mass-needing movement, creating advantages no giant creature can achieve. But when we talk about absolute strength, the rules change completely. Near the riverbank, a giant creature steps out from acacia bushes. African elephant, Loxodonta africana. Adult males can weigh up to 6 tons. This is the largest land animal still existing on the planet. The elephant trunk is nature's most versatile tool. Made from over 40,000 separate muscle bundles, no bones, completely muscle and tendon. The trunk alone can lift objects weighing 350 kilograms, while their whole body can pull and push masses up to 6,000 kilograms. In exchange for enormous strength, elephants must consume nearly 150 kilograms of food daily and spend about 18 hours continuously just eating. Not far away, white rhinoceros Ceratotherium simum appears. Males weighing over 2 tons, possessing horns up to 1.5 meters long, full of power. Thanks to extremely developed neck muscles, rhinos can lift and fling objects weighing over 1 ton, turning the horn into a terrifying attack weapon. But there's one species whose strength isn't measured by lifting ability. It's measured by pressure. In murky river water, a pair of eyes looks up. Nile crocodile, Crocodilus niloticus, up to 6 meters long, has existed through 200 million years of evolution, nearly unchanged, proof of perfect design. Their weapon is the jaw. Nile crocodile bite force reaches 5,000 psi, world's strongest, far exceeding human bite force. When attacking, crocodile jaw-closing muscles contract with tremendous strength, enough to crush buffalo bones or hold tight until drowning. Ironically, crocodile jaw-opening muscles are very weak, to the extent an adult human can hold their mouth shut with bare hands. Evolution only invested energy in closing jaws, not opening them, showing natural strength always optimizes according to survival objectives. Every strength has its own price. Elephants need to eat large quantities. Crocodiles lie motionless, conserving energy. Tiny dung beetles get crushed. Each species found its own position in the ecosystem, from dung beetles recycling waste, ants building complex nests, to elephants opening paths, crocodiles controlling fish populations. In 2026, these species face harsh challenges from climate change, habitat loss, and illegal hunting. Facing that reality, conservation efforts are being intensified with expanded reserves and tightened laws when people realize limits. Strength doesn't lie in conquering nature, but in understanding and respect when each species, large or small, all have irreplaceable roles. The Serengeti grasslands before dawn. This is the lion, a big cat perfectly designed for one single purpose: hunting. On the surface, they're just large animals resting. But beneath the golden fur is the most complex biomechanical system in the natural world. Every detail in the lion's body is the result of millions of years of evolution. Nothing is excess, nothing is random. Everything serves survival. This is the story of the perfect hunting machine, about secrets hidden deep in muscles, joints, and instincts of the apex predator. The first secret lies in muscle fiber structure. Lions possess an extremely high proportion of fast-twitch muscle fibers, occupying nearly 70% of total muscle mass. This is the type of fiber that produces instant explosive force. They allow lions to accelerate from 0 to 50 kilometers per hour in just seconds. But this strength has a price. Fast-twitch fibers consume energy extremely quickly and cannot sustain long. This is why lions can't run long distances like wild dogs. Lion muscles aren't evenly distributed across the body. Most concentrate in shoulders and forelimbs, creating an extremely stable low center of gravity when wrestling. This design allows lions to confront prey 3 times heavier, like buffalo. Low center of gravity helps them not get thrown when prey resists. But there's an even more special anatomical feature. Lion shoulder joints aren't attached to collarbones like most other mammals. This creates extraordinary flexibility. Lions can extend both front legs wide to hug and pin prey like 2 human arms. The second weapon is jaws. Lion bite muscles occupy nearly a quarter of head weight. This is one of the strongest muscles on the body. Bite force reaches 650 pounds per square inch. But lions don't use jaws to tear flesh immediately. They use the suffocation bite technique on prey's throat. This bite can maintain continuous pressure for over 10 minutes. Strength doesn't come from instant bite force, but from ability to hold tight constantly. The third weapon is claws. They're not fixed like dog claws, but can retract completely into protective skin sheaths. When relaxed, hidden claws keep them always sharp. When attacking, muscle bundles contract, pushing claws out like hooked blades, anchoring into flesh. But this perfect machine has one fatal weakness. Lion hearts are quite small relative to body size, only occupying 0.45% of weight. This explains why lions are perfect hunting machines at short range, but fail if the chase extends beyond 200 meters. Heart rate can spike from 40 to 220 beats per minute in seconds, but the circulatory system isn't strong enough to maintain that state. That's why lion hunting success rate only fluctuates around 20 to 30%, because each hunt is always an energy gamble. When hunting in packs, lion efficiency increases markedly because precise coordination turns each individual into part of superior collective strength. Lionesses, lighter and with more enduring muscles, play the role of pursuers and trappers. They create continuous pressure, pushing prey into traps. Male lions, heavier with bulkier muscles, usually play the finisher role. Pure strength is released in the final strike. Leverage tactics are a secret weapon. Lions use body weight combined with muscles to bring down prey many times larger. They jump on prey's back using 200-kilogram weight combined with claw-pulling force. Physical leverage makes prey lose balance. However, that strength requires a specific lifestyle. To maintain large muscle mass, lions need to rest nearly 20 hours each day. This isn't laziness, but mandatory energy conservation strategy. Every calorie is allocated for the decisive, explosive moment. When not hunting, heart rate drops to only 40 beats per minute. The body switches to maximum conservation mode, like a computer in sleep mode. This is an unavoidable biological trade-off, because to achieve maximum explosive strength, lions must maintain a strict energy-conserving lifestyle. In 2026, understanding this mechanism helps improve conservation effectiveness when lions need large space and stable prey sources to maintain their specific lifestyle. This perfect hunting machine didn't form by luck, but is the result of millions of years of continuous evolution and precise refinement. Every muscle fiber, every bone joint, and each heartbeat all serve survival objectives, reflecting evolution's beauty inscribed in the lion's body. Mara River, Kenya. The planet's greatest migration is underway. Millions of wildebeest pour southward along murky river channels. The Serengeti stretches over 30,000 square kilometers. This is one of the world's most intact ecosystems, where every species has its own domain. Across these vast grasslands, lions dominate. They control territory, control prey, control the movement patterns of the entire ecosystem. But there's a boundary where even lions stop, a boundary not drawn by humans or territory, but drawn by fear. African lion, the largest terrestrial predator on the dark continent, weighing 180 to 225 kilograms, maximum speed 80 kilometers per hour. On land, that body is the perfect weapon. Speed, power, terrain control, all coordinated in ways evolution has refined over millions of years. But that very body becomes a burden when in contact with water. Large mass depletes energy. The male's thick mane absorbs water, weighing him down further. Speed, the lion's most important weapon, becomes nearly useless in aquatic environments. On land, they're hunters. In water, they become targets. The rivers of the Serengeti and Mara, water murky year-round. Lions can't see the depth or current below, can't see what's waiting beneath the surface. For a predator, losing the ability to see the environment means losing control. And losing control is the most dangerous state possible. Below that surface lies the Nile crocodile, a reptile surviving since dinosaur times, virtually unchanged in 200 million years. The Nile crocodile's bite force reaches about 5,000 psi, stronger than any land vertebrate. One bite is enough to hold prey, weighing hundreds of kilograms. The crocodile's attack technique, the death roll. After the jaws clamp the prey, the crocodile spins its entire body at extreme speed to break balance and drag it deep. In water, lions can't twist fast enough to counter, can't grip surfaces firmly enough to resist, and can't maintain fighting capability for long. On shore, an adult lion can take down a small crocodile with force and speed. But in water, this isn't a battle of strength. This is a battle of terrain. During migration season, these encounters happen daily. When wildebeest herds pour into the river, lions follow close behind, and crocodiles wait below. Lions typically approach prey near the water's edge. In moments focused on prey, they may not notice what's moving beneath the river's surface. Just 1 second's delay can determine the outcome. A crocodile's launch from underwater happens faster than any shore prey's evasion reflex. When an entire pride must cross the river, preparation can take hours. Males typically observe longest, moving along the bank, finding the shallowest point. Cubs observe the adults. This is how knowledge of danger is passed down in lion prides, not through innate instinct. In behavioral biology, this is called learned fear. Unlike innate instinct, this is knowledge formed through experience and observation. A lion that once witnessed a companion dragged down will never approach the water's edge the same way. That experience is carved deep into behavior. Before entering water, lions perform a sequence of behaviors. They listen to water sounds, touch lightly with front paws, observe any movement on the surface. This isn't mere hesitation. This is systematic risk assessment, a survival skill refined over generations, living beside crocodile-inhabited rivers. When pressure is great enough, lions are forced to cross. Drought drains water sources on land. Prey has moved to the other shore. No other choice remains. Males go first, not because they're braver, but because in lion pride's social structure, males typically lead when crossing fixed danger points. In water, lions can swim but slowly. Each passing second is a second exposed in an environment they can't control. Eyes never leave the water surface. Ears remain constantly vigilant. Below, crocodiles observe. They don't always attack, but their presence is always there. And lions know this. When crocodiles attack during river crossings, the situation becomes extremely dangerous within seconds. Jaws clamping onto legs or rear body sections are the most common scenarios. Lionesses can react instantly when cubs are threatened at the water's edge. In those moments, protective instinct overrides all risk assessment. Onshore, lionesses can threaten and attack small crocodiles. This is a rare situation, but documented in many Serengeti field studies. Solitary lions face rivers differently. No pride to share risk, no other males to lead. Nomadic solitary males often accept higher risk levels. The need to find new territory, find a new pride, is strong enough to push them beyond normal limits. In water, he doesn't roar, makes no noise, all energy focused on swimming and observing. This is abnormal behavior for a species like lions. Lions don't fear water because they're weak. They're cautious with water because they understand their limits. This is an important distinction in reading animal behavior. On land, lions control the hunt, decide when to attack, from which direction, at what speed. In water, all those reflexes are slowed by the water. But at the boundary between land and water, these two species meet in a space neither completely masters. There is no absolute king in the ecosystem. Each species dominates in its own environment, and the boundary between environments is where these orders are tested daily. Each migration season, thousands of river crossings occur at the Mara River. Most succeed, some end differently. This is the inevitable part of the ecological cycle. Lions understand this in their own way, not through language or abstract thought, but through memory of what they've witnessed at the riverbank. An old lion, having survived many migration seasons, always slows before the water's edge. This is instinct forged from survival memory. In nature, caution isn't weakness. It's the mark of survival memory. Individuals who live long understand the value of avoiding danger. The Mara River still flows. Migration season continues. Crocodiles still wait beneath murky water, and lions still stand on the bank, observing, assessing, deciding. This is an ancient boundary, carved deep through millions of years of evolution. Not strength, but environment defines the predator's limits. Lions don't fear the river because they're experienced enough hunters to know that environment determines the victor, not strength alone. On African land, lions dominate. Below the surface of great rivers, crocodiles dominate. And at the boundary between those two worlds, no species is invincible. Today, both species face pressure from habitat loss and conflict with humans. The survival of both is tied to ecosystem integrity. The Mara River still flows, each rainy season, each dry season, witnessing migrations, river crossings, boundaries being tested. In the heart of Africa, where land meets water, lies a remarkable ecosystem, the Okavango Delta. One of the largest inland wetlands on Earth, where water and soil merge to create a rare and extraordinary habitat. African buffalo wade through shallow waters. Lechwa antelope leap across muddy banks. This is a paradise for species adapted to life with water. But within this flooded world lives a predator that has crossed familiar boundaries. A big cat few would expect, the swamp lion. Panthera leo, the lion, Africa's largest land predator. Here in the Okavango, it has evolved into a distinct branch. An adult male weighs nearly 200 kilograms. His mane is thinner, an adaptation to the humid environment. The result of daily wading, shaped by thousands of years of evolution, producing some of the finest swimmers in the cat family. Today, only around 300 lions remain in the Okavango, a rare population strictly protected by the government of Botswana. Swamp lions hunt during the daytime, unlike their savannah counterparts. In a complex, water-dominated environment, visibility demands daylight. They move between small islands, swimming across deep channels. This ability is not instinctive. It is learned, passed down through generations. Their paws are wider than those of savanna lions, helping to distribute weight across soft mud. Their claws are curved and razor-sharp, gripping slippery ground with precision. Their fur is shorter, drying quickly after leaving the water, reducing the risk of skin infections in humid conditions. Adaptation is not only physical, but behavioral. Swamp lions have learned to live with water, turning challenge into advantage. Morning breaks over the delta. A male lion leaves the pride, beginning his search for food. Sight and hearing are his primary weapons. Water complicates scent detection, but it also muffles the sound of footsteps. The lion moves silently through the shallows. African buffalo, nearly 800 kilograms of muscle, a favored prey of swamp lions. and their most dangerous challenge. One buffalo strays from the herd, wading deeper in search of fresh grass, unaware of the danger approaching from behind the dense reeds. The lion advances slowly, step by step. Water rises to his chest. The distance closes. 20 meters, 15, then 10. Suddenly, the buffalo turns and spots the predator. Too late. The lion charges, water erupts. The confrontation begins. The lion leaps onto the buffalo's back, claws digging into thick hide. The buffalo bucks violently, twisting to break free. Two massive bodies collide in murky water. The buffalo proves stronger than expected. Its horns swing dangerously close. The lion is forced to evade while struggling to keep balance on the slippery mud. The struggle drags on. Both grow exhausted. The shallow water becomes a disadvantage. Too deep to unbalance the buffalo, too shallow for the lion to gain speed. Then, a bellow echoes across the marsh. Another buffalo charges in. Buffalo do not abandon their own. Now two buffalo face a single lion. The balance shifts instantly. The lion knows it. Victory is no longer likely. At this moment, judgment matters more than stubbornness. The lion retreats slowly. This is not defeat. It is a choice to survive another day. The two buffalo stand together, watching until the lion disappears. Then they return to the herd. In the swamp, strength is not only individual. Buffalo are the backbone of the Okavango ecosystem. They carve pathways through the wetlands, allowing water to flow. Their dung nourishes plant life. Lions play their part as well, regulating herbivore populations and preserving vegetation balance. There are no absolute winners here, only a delicate equilibrium. As dust settles over the Okavango, the male lion returns to the pride. Today brought no success, but tomorrow remains. Swamp lions are proof of a nature's resilience, the power of adaptation to overcome challenges, turning the harshest places into home. Yet their future remains fragile. Climate change threatens water levels in the Okavango. Protecting the Okavango means protecting an evolutionary miracle, a place where lions can swim, where water meets land, and where life always finds a way. The first rays of dawn shine down on the Serengeti grasslands. A new day begins at the heart of Africa. Here, millions of creatures coexist in a complex ecological network, where predator and prey, strong and weak, intertwine their fates. But not all make their living by strength. Some have chosen another path, the path of opportunists. This is the story of Africa's most notorious thieves, those who survive on the fruits of others' labor. Spotted hyenas, crocuta, can reach weights up to 70 kilograms, living in clans ranging from 10 to 80 individuals. With the strongest jaws among African carnivores. But 80% of their food comes from scavenging. They track other hunters like leopards and cheetahs, patiently waiting for the right opportunity. Spotted hyena's tactic is patience. One hyena may lose, but the whole clan is different. Numbers are weapons. Their calls echo across grasslands, summoning teammates. A leopard just brought down a stray antelope and prepares to drag prey up a tree, but it's too late. The hyena clan appears and surrounds, not attacking directly, but just patiently waiting, creating continuous psychological pressure. The leopard gradually exhausts and must make a choice: abandon prey or face the entire clan. Finally, survival instinct prevailed. Within just 2 minutes, the antelope carcass completely disappears. Meat, skin, and bones all consumed. This is not cruelty, but survival efficiency. African wild dogs, like Caon pictus, currently number only about 6,000 individuals in the wild and are classified as endangered. Unlike hyenas, they are professional hunters with hunt success rates up to 80%, highest among terrestrial carnivores. However, when opportunity presents, they're also ready to steal prey, especially when lions have eaten their fill and left. Speed is the key advantage. They rush in quickly, take remaining portions, and retreat before other rivals can react. Black-backed jackals, Canis mesomelus, are much smaller and lighter than other carnivores at only about 10 kilograms, but compensate with high intelligence and flexibility. They live in pairs or small groups, not strong enough to confront directly, so choose another strategy: waiting in shadows. Night is their activity time, when large hunters rest. They silently approach, searching for leftovers. A bone fragment, a bit of meat, not much, but enough to sustain life. That's the survival art of the small. In African skies exists another opportunist group: vultures, distant relatives of eagles. African white-backed vultures, Gyps africanus, with wingspans up to 2.5 meters and vision about 8 times stronger than humans, allowing them to detect carcasses from altitudes up to 4,000 meters. They don't hunt, but soar in the air, patiently observing all movements below. When an animal falls, vultures are the first to notice. They swoop down quickly, in numbers up to dozens, even hundreds. The scene is not beautiful, but necessary. They clean the savannah, prevent disease spread, a role no species can replace. Beneath the water surface, another opportunist waits. Nile crocodile, Crocodilus niloticus. Bodies up to 6 meters long, weighing nearly 1 ton and living over 100 years, they're considered living fossils, existing from over 200 million years ago. Possessing the strongest bite force among terrestrial creatures, but crocodiles aren't just active hunters. They also track other predators. When a leopard brings down an antelope near the riverbank, that could be a fatal mistake. In an instant, it lunges, yanking prey into water. The leopard can only stand stunned as the meal disappears before its eyes. Underwater, crocodiles perform the death roll, violent spinning to tear prey into pieces. Efficient, brutal, but true to survival nature. And then there are lions, Panthera leo, often called kings of the savannah. But even kings have secrets. Lionesses are the main hunters, bringing back up to 80% of the pride's food. But the question is, who eats first? Male lions, weighing nearly double lionesses. They approach, push lionesses aside, and eat first. Privilege of the strong. This is not cruelty, but biological order. Male lions defend territory, face other rivals, and need large energy sources to survive. However, in many cases, male lions are also true opportunists. They don't hunt directly, but wander, seeking the right moment. A cheetah just brought down an antelope, the fastest land animal, but after the chase, it's nearly exhausted. A male lion smells blood and steps out from grass. The cheetah recognizes danger, but it's too late to flee. No confrontation. The cheetah must abandon hours of hunting effort while the lion claims victory without fighting. That's the savannah's law. Size determines power. But the cycle doesn't stop. When lions eat their fill and leave, others successively appear. Hyenas return. Wild dogs approach. From above, vultures swoop down. Jackals sneak in shadows. Each species takes its share. Nothing is wasted. Every bone, every piece of skin, every drop of blood has value and is utilized. Finally, only dried bloodstains remain on grass. The next day, grass will grow green again. The cycle continues. No winners, no losers. That's how the African savanna operates. No fairness or right and wrong, only survival and ability to seize opportunities. Hyenas, wild dogs, jackals, vultures, crocodiles, and lions all are opportunists and all are survivors. In this ecosystem, no role is small. Each species assumes a specific function, from hunter to cleaner. All are necessary. Yet, in the past 3 decades, African vulture numbers have dropped up to 80%. Hyenas gradually lose habitat. Wild dogs number only about 6,000 individuals in the wild. In 2026, humanity stands at a crossroads. Protect these so-called thieves, or lose the entire system they maintain. Each opportunist has a role. Each behavior has a function. They don't steal, they recycle, they regulate, they keep life continuing. The African savannah, where rules are written by nature, where each creature finds ways to survive in its own way. Some call them thieves, some call them opportunists, but nature doesn't judge. Nature only maintains balance. And in that balanced state, these thieves hold an irreplaceable role. Not heroes or villains, simply part of life. Because on this land, there's only one truth. To survive, sometimes you must hunt, sometimes you must wait, and sometimes you just need to appear at the right moment. This is Africa, where each day is a survival lesson, where opportunists also become teachers, teaching about adaptation, patience, and the art of existence. And in that lesson, there's a message for humanity. In nature, there are no bad guys, only creatures trying to live by any means possible. Therefore, when mentioning Africa's thieves, remember they don't steal, they survive. And that very survival has kept Africa forever vibrant. From grasslands to rivers, from ground to sky, each ecosystem layer has guardians, cleaners, and creatures recycling life. Africa, land of wonders, where each creature, whether large or small, hunter or thief, has a role in life's grand symphony